3 for 5, the most important number of all of those being the 5 wickets that South Africa have lost. Sikander Raza, his day is complete from a cricket skills delivery perspective. He's batted outstanding, he scored 73, he's taken 3 wickets there in his 4-over allocation, but he's going to have to marshal the troops through these last few overs, well, few overs, 9 overs in Delhi. The sun just fading in the distance, and Sikander Raza 3 for 29 from his 4. A good day out.
Yeah, a really good day out, and he's not just done that in this game, he's done it throughout the tournament, in particular with the bat as well. He's played in some different situations, and you know, that experience just from all around the world is just proving on this World Cup stage, and he must just be so pivotal off the pitch as well for Zimbabwe, bringing all that experience to players who potentially haven't played all around the world like him.
Creamer's in, starts with a slow delivery that turns outside off to Stubbs, who punches off the back foot towards deep extra cover. Batters through for a single, 104 for 5. Yeah, he has to be pivotal. And as Ryan Campbell was saying earlier, he's a cricket nuffy. So he loves cricket, talks about cricket. It's important you have those characters inside your dressing room. Keeps everyone together and connected and heading towards the common goal. And they've kind of achieved it, haven't they? They made it through that group stage, a tricky group to come through. They came through it, cemented their qualification for the next World Cup. They have struggled in the Super 8s, but with experience and with this experience, they'll be better for it. Creamer over the wicket to Linda, who rocks back and cuts this towards deep cover. One more run added to the score, 105 for 5.
He's also got a bit of flair as well. The spikes that he's wearing are yellow and red as well, and it almost looked like they're a continuation of his trousers, so showing a bit of flair as well. But you're right, and obviously he is a student of the game, and you'd hope that he would pass it on to his teammates as well.
Creamer to Stubbs, who goes back in his crease and just clips off the back foot towards deep mid-wicket. Saunters through for a single, 106 for 5, 48 needed. What I will say about this tournament as well, the crowds have been outstanding, even for neutral games. We're almost at full capacity here at Delhi today. It's just a smattering of empty seats in the top layer of the stand all the way round the Arun Jaitley Stadium, but it really has been fantastic. Full bunger, hammered up over mid-wicket. Will it go for 6? Yes. An absolute gift from Creamer to Linda, who doesn't say no to that opportunity to biff it for 6. 112 for 5, 42 needed now.
Yeah, that one was always going to go for 6, wasn't it? Not using the facilities, full toss. Creamer coming into the side today, he has really struggled. Pretty hard to bowl leg spin on a good pitch, short boundary to the left-hander as well.
How will he respond? Creamer drags one down, and Linda rocks back and clips towards deep square leg, where the fielder cleared safely. 1 run added to the score. 113 for 5, 41 needed. It's tricky, isn't it? You're in and out the team, you snatch at the opportunity sometimes to want to make an impression. It's your last chance in this World Cup to make an impression. You just try too hard sometimes. He still has time to make up for it though. Creamer drags one down, is cut hard by Stubbs. Excellent fielding there by Sikander Raza at short extra cover, who scampers and collects the ball, saves his teammate 3 runs. And that's 1 run from the final ball of the over. 114 for 5. South Africa just 40 more runs to win this contest and make it through to the semi-finals unscathed. Creamer's got 2 overs for 27.
Yeah, I mean, coming in that the side is hard anyway, because of your confidence, obviously, of not being in the team, and then you come in. You know, each game is absolutely huge at a World Cup, so he has struggled today. But just going back to the first innings, South Africa's bowlers who came in today, Nortje, he bowled pretty well, took 1 wicket, but in particular Mpaka, he bowled beautifully, bowled with good pace, but also real good smarts as well. Used his slow balls at the perfect time. We've obviously seen Ngidi doing that really well, and you brought it up earlier, Finney. It'll be interesting. Obviously, Rabada has struggled a little bit in the tournament, but Mpaka, who might have just put a few questions in the selectors' minds.
Masikadza is back into the attack after being spanked for 18 in his first 17 in his first over. Single off the first ball off the back foot from Tristan Stubbs to long off, 1 run into the score.
I guess obviously we were speaking about also earlier that South Africa would have taken a lot of confidence from winning the World Test Championship, and you want as many in your side who won that World Test Champion going into the semi-finals and finals potentially. We know obviously South Africa's struggles at just getting over the line in recent times, so we want as many of those in the side going forward.
Masakadza round the wicket to left-handed Linda, who turns that round the corner to short fine leg, but straight to the fielder. A dot ball. I know what I have wanted to ask you about, Tash. How does it feel to be retired?
I thought I was going to go unscathed.
Absolutely not. I'm amazed it took us 32.2 overs to get there. But
yeah, well, I've been on holiday. So.
Masakadza, back of a length, clipped by Linda towards long on. 38 needed now for South Africa.
No, I've been easing into retirement nicely actually.
That's the way to do it.
But no, it's been really nice. It's obviously I've had a lot of really lovely messages and calls and stuff like that over the last week or so. Quite overwhelming actually, but yeah, no, just been a nice time as well.
Masakadza is punched by Stubbs off the front foot towards long off. 1 run added to the score. 37 now needed.
I've been trying to switch off, my family have been saying switch off from the cricket now, you don't have to sort of be as involved in it. But
so you've come to join
us?
Yes,
now I'm just chatting rubbish about cricket instead, but no, it's been nice, Vinny. Tricky time, but also an exciting time as well.
So you should be proud.
I'll follow in your footsteps and really enjoy retirement.
Yeah, don't get overweight like me though.
I wasn't saying that.
Far better athlete than me. Down the leg side from Masakadza, wide ball signalled by umpire Illingworth. 36 needed from 44 balls for South Africa. Yeah, it's a funny period in your life, isn't it? It's young to retire. I was young to retire as well from cricket. You've got this whole next chapter. Masakadza, full of a length, hit by Linda in the air, out towards wide long on, one bounce, and it makes it to the fielder, who tumbles away to his left, fielding smartly, and a bit of relay fielding down there with his deep mid-wicket teammate. 2 added to the score, 34 needed from 43. But yeah, like when you're waiting to make the decision, you've got so many different things, or I did anyway, I had so many different things going through my mind, and if it feels right, it usually is right. That's a back on the left, hit firmly by Linda towards short cover. And a dot ball to finish the over, so Linda has 12 from 8, Stubbs has 7 from 7. South Africa 120 for 5 with 7 overs to go, meaning with 42 balls left, they need just 34 runs, so it feels like it should be easy for them, but a couple of wickets can put a cat amongst the pigeons. And that'd be a busy summer ahead for you then. There's lots of cricket to talk about.
I'm really excited for the summer. Obviously I won't have the pressure of playing or trying to get back on the park, but yeah, no, obviously it's been a busy time for ICC events, hasn't it? There's so many World Cups, and
RCB bro, hi bro.
World Cup in England, I cannot wait. I'm speaking to the likes of sort of Beth Wild, and I
today India must win. Ama bro.
Effort they put into this. Obviously, the girls are going to be playing at
match
grounds, the semi-finals at the Oval and the final at Lords. It's just going to be, and then also a Test match against India at Lords as well. So there's just so much cricket in general, but obviously I'm slightly biased. There's so much women's cricket this summer that just. There's so much to be excited about. I know some of the grounds are already sold out for those games. So yeah, it's going to be good.
Evans back into the attack to Tristan Stubbs, who defends with a straight back towards
screen theriyalaya.
And we think England's going to do well in the tournament.
Bro, ivlo na screen theriyama
well. Yeah, and they've had an interesting build-up. No international cricket actually since the World Cup in October, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Obviously everyone speaks about how busy the schedule is, and under Charlotte Edwards, they've had a really good training block now. They've been on various different camps.
Evans Stubbs, who punches nicely towards mid-off, who's inside the ring, but the batter set off quickly, the fielder doesn't. 1 run added to the score, so 33 needed from 40.
So it's been a good time for the likes of Lottie and the other coaches just to maybe have a look at some different players. Also, when you're just going from game to game, it's really hard to get any sort of training.
Screen theriyala bro, but your face and eyes commentary dhaan theriyudhu. Apdiya ipa theriyum parunga.
Different build up.
Naane paakala bro.
Really good build up.
Evlo nerama 9 நிமிஷமா அப்படியே இதே போட்டுருக்கேன். 60 பேர் பார்த்திருக்காங்க, பார்த்துட்டு அப்படியே போயிட்டாங்க போலயே.
Healy's just retired. She's just scored 150 in her last ODI game.
Regretting her decision.
Yeah, regretting her decision.
Okay bro,
she
okay.
might come back. So England won't be the favourites, but they'll have a big bite of confidence.
Yep, Evans round the wicket to George Linder. That's a nice steepling delivery. Beats the outside edge. The bowler thinks it's kissed the edge. The keeper has taken the catch. And I think this is going to go upstairs. The keeper's convinced. Huge grin on Maramani's face. He took a really smart catch earlier in the first over. And they've sent it up. Linder's shaking his head. Let's find out.
I think they're all convinced, apart from the bowler, actually. He shook his head. He didn't think that was...
Check the feet, it's a fair delivery. Looking at the split screen here.
Bro, Tamil commentary or Hindi commentary are better.
Rising up around the gloves. It's to me as though there's...
Tamil dhaan better.
Close to the back. Can you have ultra edge, please?
Hindi la yaar rakha experts.
Telling bit of technology, ultra edge.
Bowlers looking a little bit more...
Indila nariya per irukanga.
They've seen the replay
Hindi
on
therinja
that.
eppadi irukonu
That's
paakalam.
passed really close to the bat.
Ultra edge coming out.
Ayyo.
Flat line
Past
of the
the
ball
outside edge,
passes
but
the back.
that was pretty close, so you can't sort of
Only
have
one
a go
more
at them for going upstairs there. They've obviously heard something, but
Flat line.
bowlers always know, don't
Satisfied,
They-
no
I
bat
think
involved.
deep
Kumar,
down
stay with your
wasn't
decision of
interested
not
in
out to your
that.
on screen.
So it was a nice delivery that lifted. The Zimbabwe bowlers have bowled a lot of cross-seam deliveries. Maybe that one just kicking off the
Mani 6 mani aicha.
rising more than Linda thought it would. The round the
Next
wicket
match
angle is
ஆரம்பிக்க
what
போகுது
cramping
India
him
match.
for room. Wicketkeeper
என்ன
covers his
நடந்துட்டு
face.
இருக்கு இந்த match?
Maramani with his gloves, as if to
33
say,
runs வேணும் South Africa க்கு. 39 ball left.
but why not?
I don't think it was a bad shout.
I
It was
agree.
quite hard to see on the replay there.
They've got another one as well. They've still got one.
Ooh.
I find it so... I think 2 reviews in a T20 is... There should only be 1.
Feels like a lot,
Yeah.
doesn't it? It certainly does. Especially when you only get 2 for a whole 80 overs of a test match.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Doesn't make sense.
You
Maybe we'll
don't
start
ever
a
really
petition.
use
Summer
both
bowler.
the reviews in a T20 innings, do you?
No, you have to have had a shocker
Yeah.
to use them both. Right, the game continues. Evans back of a length is hit firmly towards backward point, but there's a nice bit of fielding off the bat of George.
Ayyo, weak.
Managed to stop the single though. as
Release weak aichu.
Rabani does the tidying up there. Moves on to 13.
Sopra everyone utano andukali
22.
முக்காசி பேர் எல்லாமே ஹிந்தில தான் ப்ரோ பண்ணுவாங்க. because Indian players
needed for South Africa to make it through this tournament to the semi-finals, having not lost a game. Their closest scare was that double super over against Afghanistan. What a game! Penny for Jonathan.
ஏன்னா இவ்வளவு நேரம் விளையாடுறாங்க சவுத் ஆப்பிரிக்கா. டேவிட் மில்லர் ஸ்டப்ஸ் இண்டி
could win it, but it's moments like that.
ஸ்டப்ஸ் விக்கெட் எடுத்தா ஜிம்பாப்வேக்கு ஏதாவது ஒரு வாய்ப்பு இருக்கு.
Evans over the wicket to Stubbs, who calls without timing towards deep wicket. Immediately sets off and calls too. The batters tap and come back. Will there be a run-out chance? No. Stubbs gets it easily.
Oh, yo.
To the striker's end. So 124 for 5:30 needed. But sometimes that
ball.
actually is kind of a good
Hindi
thing.
commentல எல்லா legends.
Make it through those tricky moments before the knockout stage.
Yeah, 100%. And actually, I watched the press conference of Ashwell Prince before this game, and he was actually alluding to obviously they've won really well, but sometimes you want, like you actually mentioned England, where obviously they've had a few more closer games, but just saying that obviously they're really glad to have won. They would have liked to have maybe a few more closer games, but
Evans is nudged into the onside by Tristan Stubbs, looking for that 2 again to deep the wicket. It does seem as though they've got the time to do so, and they do. So 2 added to the score to finish the 14th over. South Africa 126 for 5 and looking calm. Just 28 more runs needed for 36 balls. The orange sun setting in the distance as the smog disperses the
எப்படி ஹிந்தி ரன் அண்ட் பாலோ?
across the sky. It really is beautiful.
நிஜமாவே உங்களுக்கு ஹிந்தி தெரியுமா?
Stadium. It's been a clear day. And we witnessed some good cricket.
ஹிந்தி தெரியும்னா ஹிந்தியிலே போடுங்க ப்ரோ கமெண்ட்ஸ். ஹிந்தில நிறைய பேர் பார்ப்பாங்க. பார்க்குற ஃபேன்ஸுக்கு ஹிந்தியில கமெண்ட் போடுங்க. லைக் போட சொல்லி சப்போர்ட் பண்ண சொல்லி.
Ryan Campbell's going to come in alongside me to take us through to the conclusion of this game. And South Africa look
பார்க்குறவங்க எல்லாம் ஹிந்தி தான் மோஸ்ட்லி.
It's all about being calm, staying calm in this final little bit for both Zimbabwe in the field and coming up with plans. They need one good over, whereas conversely South Africa will be thinking, well, we keep our heads on here. We can almost dink our way to victory, or one good over and then it really is over. And that's, I guess, the beauty of T20. There's always a line. There's always a moment where you're thinking, could we go this way or could we go that way? And one over either way can really affect the outcome of the game. And I guess that's why we love the game so much.
Exactly. Well, it's never a foregone
Fun by Saran. Hi bro. Hi Vanga. Welcome to the stream, bro.
Drag yourself back into the game as well is something that
Family Rani Lakshmi boy.
This tournament actually teams looking as though they're
on the போட்ருக்கீங்க ஹிந்தில
themselves back in.
எனக்கு ஒண்ணும் புரியலை.
Trepidation that comes
Fun by bro. வாங்க bro. Welcome bro.
Have made this tournament for me a really interesting and
டாஸ் வந்துருச்சுனா சொல்லுங்க இந்தியா மேட்ச் ஸ்குவாட் எடுத்துட்டு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுங்க
giant killing is that would be a fantastic story.
Yeah, it would have been great.
வெஸ்ட் இண்டீஸ் டீம் டவுன்லோட் பண்ணனும்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
Hold on, let's not get carried away, Ryan.
வெஸ்ட் இண்டீஸ் டீம் கிடைக்கவே மாட்டேங்குது லைசென்ஸ்டு டீம்ங்கறனால.
We saw plenty because Australia were poor in this tournament, let's be honest. You know,
RCB bro நீங்க ஹிந்தி அதான் அவர் பேசுறாரு.
It's something that not very used to at all, and you know, we can say they had their fair share of injuries going into the tournament, but they never played their best cricket and found themselves out of the tournament, and that's, I guess, one of the skills that you download பண்ணியா bro. But again, that's also the beauty of tournament play. If you don't come
yes Saran boy bro, West Indies வந்து லைசென்ஸ்டு டீம் யார்ட்டயுமே அது கிடைக்க மாட்டேங்குது அந்த டீம். West Indies ஆஸ்திரேலியா இதெல்லாம் லைசென்ஸ்டு டீம். இங்கிலாந்து
That's a fair point, and I will stand down on that front. I forgot that actually, to be honest. It feels like a lifetime ago.
போய் டவுன்லோட் பண்ணுவோமா? மணி எத்தனை 6:10 ஆயிருச்சு.
In that time, it's clearly things that need to be worked on, and
போய் டவுன்லோட் பண்ணுவோம்.
linking the domestic game with the test match game is going to be an important component of that.
6:30 க்கு டாஸ் சொல்லிடுவாங்க. சியான் கார்த்திக்ஸ் கேமிங்
enticing those players to let them dream that they can play for England.
அவர் ஸ்டார் ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ். ஐயோ
Burl is into the attack to the left hand.
டவுன்லோட் பண்ண முடியுமா? எப்படின்னு சொல்லுங்க ப்ரோ.
Calmly towards deep mid wicket.
நானும் சர்ச் பண்ணி பார்க்கறேன் எவனுமே போட மாட்டானுங்களே பெரிய ஆளு யாரும்.
I guess this is the Zimbabwe rolling their dice
names,
you know, bringing on a leg spinner
start with
who can go but also has the capacity to bowl wicket taking balls, and you know they know that
West Indies இருக்கு.
They're into the tail, who haven't had a lot of batting, let's be honest, throughout the
ஹிந்தில போடுறேன். ஹிந்தி டைப்ல போடுவோமா?
So Burl floats one out googly, darts in sharply towards Stubbs.
எதை ப்ரோ கேக்குறீங்க?
Dot ball. It looked like he
இங்க பாருங்க வெஸ்ட் இண்டீஸ் இந்த டீம் தான் ஆல்ரெடி லைசென்ஸ் டீம்ல இருக்குல. T20 World Cup டீ ஷர்ட் இல்ல, ரியல் பிளேயர்ஸ் இல்ல, சும்மா டமிட்டமியா போட்டுருக்காங்க. இது ரோசி கேமிங் ஓபி இதுல இருக்காங்க. இதெல்லாம் இல்ல
keeper's gone up. Maramani to ask
the square West Indies லைசென்ஸ் டீம் எடிட் பண்ண முடியாது.
I don't think it has. Okay, so Tristan Stubbs almost played for the Netherlands.
He has a Dutch passport. Was playing cricket in the Netherlands. Hadn't played obviously for South Africa, or even domestically was playing in and out of the teams.
Burl to Stubbs. Stubbs rocks back and punches towards short extra cover. Another dot ball.
Yeah, so he was pretty much lined up.
West Indies இருக்கு bro. அது வந்து லைசென்ஸ்டு டீம். கேம் அவங்க வெஸ்ட் இண்டீஸ் லைசென்ஸ் பண்ணனா அத நம்ம எடிட்லாம் பண்ண முடியாது. அவங்க என்ன டீம் கொடுக்கறாங்களோ அதேதான்.
Long on, one added to the score, 128 for 5.
And for those who don't know,
பாப்போம் வெஸ்ட் இண்டீஸ்ல எல்லா பிளேயரும் இருக்காங்களா பாப்போம்.
As an associate, if you're from that country or you got a
bro IPL எப்ப தெரியல bro IPL எப்பன்னு தெரியல. கண்டிப்பா IPL கண்டிப்பா டெய்லி லைவ் வரும்.
Then you can't go back to the Netherlands for 3.5
டீம் நம்ம ஸ்டார்ட்ல வெஸ்ட் இண்டீஸ் 26 னு போடு bro. வெஸ்டர்ன் போட்டாலே வரணும் bro. எல்லாமே
long on and deep mid wicket, so just
அது லைசென்ஸ்டு டீம் bro. டவுன்லோட் பண்ண முடியாது. ஆல்ரெடி இவங்களே வச்சிருப்பாங்க. அந்த பிளேயர்ஸ் வச்சு தான் விளையாடணும்.
15th over South Africa 129
டீம் எடிட் பண்ணி பாப்போம்.
from the remaining
Team
30
edit,
balls.
manage
I
men's
have the
team,
part to bring
West
Matt Floyd in,
Indies.
but Tristan Stubbs could have played for the Netherlands. Ryan Campbell, continue again.
Yeah, so he was all lined up.
Uniform, மூணு uniform தான் இருக்கு. ஏன்னா licensed teamங்கிறனால.
Head coach at the time, we just said it was a great
Surrounded
opportunity
by March
for him.
28 start.
Then all of a sudden he got selected in a provincial T20 game. Literally, because someone got injured when he made 100. Suddenly everyone was talking about Tristan Stubbs. We weren't allowed to use him. It's the same with young Mark Chapman when he was playing for Hong Kong when I was there. He played at the World Cup for Hong Kong and then ended up, you know, he was doing university in New Zealand and had obviously
T20 lineup
heritage
captain.
as well. And suddenly he got picked for New Zealand. That was the end of that. Michael Rippon's another one.
The ball
ball for him, off spinner round the wicket to Linda, who hangs back and pushes him out to the offside.
Gear Prakash, hi bro.
What might have been, eh?
Bro, welcome to this team. Gear Prakash bro, இப்போதைக்கு கிரிக்கெட் தான். நைட் 10 மணிக்கு தான் ஏதாவது ஒரு கேம் விளையாடுவோம். நைட் 10 மணிக்கு அது டையிங் லைட் போடலான்னு இருக்கோம். அவங்க வந்தாங்கன்னா போடுவோம், இல்லைனா ரெஸ்ட் எடுத்துருவேன். ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்காங்க, ரெண்டு பேரும் சேர்ந்து பாருங்க. கிரிக்கெட் பாப்பீங்களா ப்ரோ நீங்க? கேர் பிரகாஷ் ப்ரோ 23 வாட்சிங். ஆமா 23 வாட்சிங். ஹிந்தி தெரியும்ல, ஹிந்தில ஏதாவது போட்டு விடுங்க. உங்களுக்கு லைக் போட சொல்லுங்க.
For a single, are you still in touch with the domestic scene out there?
Try to. Obviously, you know, we spent 5.5 years. My kids grew up there speaking Dutch, and my wife also has a Dutch passport, so you know we kind of stay in the
West Indies T20 lineup பார்க்கணும்.
Is into the pitch short. Linda swings this around the corner past the
diving
short fine leg for South Africa now need just 19 off 27 balls.
lineup வந்தோனே மாத்துவோம்.
I just get the feeling that with the start of this over that
அது வரைக்கும் டீம் கிடைக்குதான்னு செர்ச் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம்.
options trying
to எப்படா முடியும் மேட்ச்
now to thinking that's their best bet, but when you don't bowl too often you can drag one down every now and again.
Yeah, this does seem like the last roll of the dice, doesn't it? Again it's short. Linda goes back and pulls out to deep mid wicket. Do you think South Africa actually will be quietly pleased that they've been tested?
Players, teams,
oh yes, for sure. But you know,
they
said that South Africa said, "Oh, we would have been nice for us to bat first." But you know, you're thinking, okay, we want to be put under the pump here. 154 is a good standard. We can lose a couple of wickets.
Stubbs just
you know, guys who haven't had much of a bat, you lose your two openers early. So the guys who haven't had much of a hit have really spent some time in the middle. The other pleasing thing is that they brought 3 bowlers into the lineup and they all performed really, really nicely. So you know your backups are in good order. Well, I think they're in as good a position as they can be.
And it drags down again and Linda pulls well in front straight out to deep mid wicket. For 1, South Africa 138 for 5 off 16 overs, so they need 16 more off 24 balls. So would you say, really, I mean they are the only unbeaten side, South Africa are the team to beat right now?
Yeah, 100%. I came into today really, really excited with what South Africa brought to the table. I think their performances have been the quality that you would think, gee, that's the team. Generally, we think that of India, or a lot of time we think that of Australia or England. But I think it's this tournament, it's been South Africa that's had the talking points. And like we said at the start of the show, there's always that, oh, but South Africa in ICC events,
6:30 okay, bro.
I got a feeling that
this group
of players have put that behind them. Winning the World Test Championship has calmed a lot of that nerve, and the talk's not so much about it.
Ryan Bell, the leg spinner, tosses one up down the leg side and it's swept aerially. One bounce for behind square by George Linda. And they are now starting to really motor towards their target. 12 more.
Really name Money Singh down, bro.
Yeah, almost home. They're almost home. But like I say, I was a part of that, the match in the Australian T20 competition when the Dutch beat South Africa and basically put them out of the competition, and they look so nervous.
It's a full delivery down the leg side, and it's hit hard by George Linda, but straight to
ஏதோ எடிட் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்காங்க.
Yeah, that day they just looked almost a shell of a team. But now you look at them and you feel that they've got all their bases covered. They've got guys in good form. They're led well. They tick every box, and they're going to be very hard to beat.
Moves around his crease a little bit. Ball's fired into his pads. He just clips it out to deep mid-wicket. He's just ticked along here. Tristan Stubbs, he hasn't hit a boundary yet, but he hasn't. He's currently 16 not out off 18 balls. Linda's 27 off 18, so he's been the aggressor. And haven't had to worry, really. These two, they've just inched towards the target and then occasionally come out the bunker and hit a boundary when needed. It's been very, very calm and collected.
You know, but don't get me wrong, it's a semi-final, anything can happen. But right now,
this bell driven hard down the ground to long off for a single.
The other thing I'll throw in, and you guys have probably watched a bit more of this tournament than I have, but I feel the toss of the coin isn't affecting the games as much as it can do in T20.
Okay, so when
you get to a semi-final, I don't think you just sort of, if we lose a toss and bowl first, we're gone. Or if we lose a toss and we bat first,
download with the logo.
Way side off stump from Ryan Bell. That's going to be a wide. I agree. Yeah, I don't see the stats on it. It does feel that way. The G hasn't been quite as important.
Replace with the new.
Yeah. So that, again, when you're going into a semi-final situation, when you're playing well, you kind of have the feeling, no, we don't care. Whatever, we'll do whatever we need to do. We'll chase. We'll bat first. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so we check பண்ணி பாப்போம்.
Tristan Stubbs waits, wide stance, gets another wide delivery, still can't find the boundary. Threw his hands at that, but the ball goes straight to one of two fielders behind square in the ring on the offside. 16 from 19. 8 more needed, so a couple of big hits will do it. One ball left in this 17th from Ryan Bell. Again, it's very wide. And he cuts
custom teams download.
Stubbs, he'll keep the strike. 147 for 5. 7 more needed. So here's a question for you, Ryan. If you're England right now, I mean, they don't have a choice because it looks like they're going to play India or the West Indies. Would you rather play India in the semi-final or this South Africa
Indian team mein custom la save aayirukku ana the idella varudha
I'm going to
copy uniform from others.
I'm going to say you'd rather play India because I think India at the minute, yes, they've had some good games and you know, we know them playing at home is always a daunting task, but I think you go into a semi-final against India with such a freedom that you know what, this is a free swing because we know India are really good, but we have to play at our best, so let's put our best performance forward by literally going for it. We've got nothing to lose, and like I mentioned earlier,
Barney's back into the attack, back foot punch.
Cannot be copied from licensed teams. Okay.
Cover 6 needed.
The beauty of England in this tournament has been they've been winning ugly. They have found a way, which is something that they haven't done for a while. The fact that Joss Buttler and Phil Salt playing against India will know that those two know the conditions so well. If they suddenly find form, it can get away from us very, very quickly. And that, to me, is a situation where England go in, hey, we haven't played that well, but we keep winning. And that's a great asset to have. But, hey, guys, what happens if we all play well?
Zarabani's around the wicket to the left-handed Linda, who cuts just behind square on the offside. Good bit of fielding by the fielder there, restricts them to just 1.
And I know there's been a bit of talk around the traps about Buttler hasn't gone so well and this, that and the other, but mate, he's your best white ball player you've ever produced. He is going to come good at some point. You just got to hope that it's in a semi-final or a final. He's just too good not to. And again, don't get me wrong, there was some of his dismissals looked like he's searching for it, he's feeling for it. You know, the nick behind the other night was a clear indication where he looked a bit scrambled. He was trying to walk at bowlers early on, where Josh, to me, is when I watch him, he just plays good cricket shots.
That wasn't good cricket, really, that last ball. It was a short, wide, slower, long hop, really, from Mazhar Barney, and in the end, Stubbs does well to reach it, and he cuts it out the man on the boundary for one.
And the other thing that I haven't mentioned, but I think the great thing that you've discovered about England is that Harry Brook is going to bat 3 in T20 cricket, and that's where he should be, and that's where he should be for evermore, basically. And that's something you've discovered during this tournament.
Download பண்ண முடியாது bro.
That is
download பண்ண
very
custom
exciting
teams
for
தான் download
England cricket going forward in the
Western
white
teams
ball
are
game.
licensed team.
Oh, it really is when he plays like that as well. That was a classic instance the other day of one player having an unbelievable day out and winning you the game. It's very hard to stop Harry Brook when he is in that mood. He was peak Harry Brook the other night.
Match பாக்கறியா bro? Match பார்த்துட்டு தான் bro இருக்கேன்.
Sensational some of the shots he played. Muzarabani round the wicket to Linda, just cramping him up, thick inside edge, out to square leg for one. Will Zimbabwe today, well, they feel like they've had a couple of opportunities in the match and just haven't quite taken them, do you think?
Yeah, I do. I think that to push South Africa to, the 18th over, again, they'll probably feel that they've, missed out by not scoring 170, 175 when Raza was going so well. They just needed to see someone hang in there. Again, for me, it's about
South Africa ஜெயிக்க
we
போறாங்க.
can't just walk away from this tournament and go, oh yeah, good on us, we made the Super 8s. We've got to say, okay, how have we got better? How do we get even more better? If that's not even a word, but you know what I mean.
South Africa need 3 more, and it's still going to be 3. They almost take a single, driven down to mid-off by Stubbs, but they decide against it.
So my thing for the associates, who have been really good, and a team like Zimbabwe, and again, we know they're not an associate, but in the past, you have good losses, and everyone goes, oh, good on you. You've got to stop accepting that. You've got to go, okay, how do we win this? How does Nepal beat England on that day the other week? How does the Dutch make sure they beat Pakistan the next time they're in a close tussle?
It's a free hit, 2 needed by South Africa, and it's pulled hard by Stubbs. It's half stopped by the fielder at deep mid-wicket, but the ball runs away out towards the boundary, and he comes
South
back
Africa
for the second. And that will be it. South Africa get to their target of 154, 5 wickets down with 2 overs in hand. It is played 7, 1-7 for South Africa at this T20 World Cup. They are the only unbeaten side into the semi-finals. They will top their Super 8s group. It'll be either India or the West Indies to join them in second place. And it means that South Africa will play the first semi-final against New Zealand on Wednesday at Eden Gardens in Kolkata, and they're going to be very hard to stop, Ryan.
Yep, they are. They've, like I say, they've ticked every box throughout this tournament. I think their squad is deep. Also do that job, and look, they go in with good form. I think they go in with a massive belief around the group, which is really important. And again, South African cricket, we can all talk about the bad days, but I think they are now starting to bask in the glory of some of these, the production of some of their younger players.
South Africa,
the Tristan Stubbs, these sort of guys, Rickleton, who have come up and then been surrounded by guys like Markram and David Miller and these sort of senior players. And there's a real belief around this group that they can beat anyone. And, they go into this semi-final shootout with New Zealand, who again have made a semi-final of a world event, which is such a great story, because they continue to just, for a country with such a small population, they continue to, to play and to win against the big boys. They are one of the big boys, so they're not going to just fold over. But look, the 4 best teams you would think in this tournament are going to make it through to the semi-finals, and that's an exciting time for all of us to watch.
Just to run you through then what happened earlier today, South Africa made some team changes, restricted Zimbabwe to 153. Raza got 73 of that 153. Bowlers all chipped in really, a couple of wickets from Parker, a couple for Corbin Bosch, 1 each for Linda, Ngidi and Norkir. And South Africa chased that down, 5 wickets down. They lost a couple of early wickets, both openers Markram and Deepcool going for little.
நேரா ஸ்டம்ப்
Duck, in
தெரிச்சிருக்கும்.
fact, mark them for 4, but then after that, numbers 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 all got to at least 21. They were all
2018 repeat ஆகுமா இந்தியாக்கு?
42 off 18, a sparkling 42.
2016
to their score, just 5 wickets down with 2.1 overs. So those changes I mentioned there, Ryan, is that giving them a bit of a headache, perhaps? You know, selection for the semi-final, the likes of Mapaka coming in, getting a couple of wickets, nor Kearbol with real pace today, or do you think they just go back?
You're playing, bro,
because they are their go-to guys.
Yeah, I would have thought they're pretty comfortable with what their starting 11's going to be. I think they went with those guys for most of the tournament, but it is nice that they're back up to Dunrell. Mapaka is a really, really exciting young bowler. Probably going to get man of the match, you would have thought, for 21 after 4. Look, if you look at Jansen, who's been such a good T20 player for them, who bats so well, and obviously opens
2016 Kohli creep
with his economy rate, he's been the guy that
Kohli creep பண்ணாங்க 2016 ல மட்டும் எல்லா மொத்த மேட்ச்லயும் creep பண்ணாங்க.
That adds to this team as well. So I've got a feeling they're pretty confident that they know what their starting 11 will be next week, and you know, today we're getting some game time under those backups just in case something happens to one of their bowlers in training or whatever. You know, I'm not sure they're going to train too much between now and the semi-final. I think it's just a top-up session here and there, so you would hope that they're not going to get too many injuries. Of course, Ryan Rickleton might pull up a bit sore and you know, after being hit in the head and with concussion, and again, those protocols are very serious nowadays that you're not supposed to play in 7 days, so I guess there's a question.
England is Western Sweden garden. ஆமா bro, எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியும் bro அது.
Yeah, I would have thought
ஃபேமஸான மேட்ச். அந்த மேட்ச்னால தான் ஈடன் கார்டன்ஸ்னாலே இந்த மேட்ச் தான் இந்த மேட்ச் அப்புறம் ஐபிஎல் மேட்ச்.
Just a final word on Zimbabwe. I know that, you know, you said there that they've got to find a way getting over the line in closer games and stuff like that. But have they been one of the stories of the tournament, really? It's been
knockout in Kolkata. Straight away knockout match bro. India va West Indies are surprised, of course. Our bins nadichukanga.
Side upsets one of those.
Surya Kumar paper thukittu vanta appadi.
Been in the wilderness a little bit. They missed the last 2 World Cups. They've kind of announced themselves back on the big stage, haven't they?
Yeah, 100%. No, I think they have been a talking point, that's for sure. It's, you know, it's very easy in these big competitions just to think about the big guys, but you're always intrigued to see what the associate or little guy's going to do, and they have been absolutely outstanding. They were brilliant in the qualifying stage of this tournament. You know, they didn't lose a game, and for them, I think as a young group, I think you're looking at a team that's starting to get a bit of belief. There's, you know, a couple of guys got injuries and missed this game as well, but you know, they're starting to get a squad. All about
ரெண்டு டீமுமே நல்லா விளையாண்டிருக்கு. ரெண்டு டீமுக்கும் இப்படி நாக் அவுட் மேட்ச் வந்திருக்குது.
Your squad a little bit higher.
Zimbabwe players just doing a lap of honour right now, soaking it all in. Apart from their captain, fantastic Sikandar Raza, he is the player of the match. What a performance from him. He's going to be interviewed now by Cass Naidu.
Return of 3 for 29 in 4 overs. Sikandar, I know you would have wanted to be on the winning side today, but what a wonderful all-round performance from you. What are your immediate reflections?
My immediate reflection is that I shouldn't be here. I've never got a man of the match for losing the game, but I just think I can hold my head high. I think the way the boys have played the whole tournament, I know we took a bit of beating in the previous 2 games, but I think with each beating came a valuable lesson. And if you can see Zimbabwe, I think we have improved with every game that we have played. At least now we've got a taste of what it needs, what it takes and what it needs to be done for us to be a mid-table team in the top 6, top 7. We take these valuable lessons, go home and hopefully come back stronger and better.
I know you don't want the spotlight on you, but I am going to put it on you. 73 from 43. What was your approach when you got out there? You looked unstoppable.
To be honest with you, I thought 180 would be part on that wicket because I thought it was slightly on the skiddy lower side of the wicket. So I thought the square sides would be harder to hit. So I thought, listen, boys, if we can just get somehow 170, 175, I think it's a very good total on this wicket. And true to that, I think had we got to that, I think it would have been a very interesting game.
Toss போயிட்டு
And you open the bowling against the South African batting lineup that back deep. how important was it to strike early in the power play?
Yeah, certainly very important, but without even striking, my immediate reaction was we've only got 2 seamers. If there's one guy who needs to raise his hand, it has to be the captain. So I said, boys, I'll open the bowling with the 2 seamers, and hopefully we can, so that we can have a lot of their, or some of their overs in the middle and at depth as well. But alhamdulillah, it came really nice. We ended up bowling 3 in the power play. But without the wickets or the runs, the fact that if the leaders stand, if the leaders stand up and raises it, I think it gives a lot of confidence to the team.
Ravi Shastri என்ன பேசிட்டு இருக்காங்க?
Only the second player in T20 World Cup history to score over 70 and take 3 wickets. Our player of the match today, Sikandar Raza.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Toss போட்டாங்க.
Very good tournament of it. Maybe not the wickets.
Oh, India won the toss, bro.
Sikandar Raza in his 6 games, he's taken 5 wickets. But with the bat in hand in particular, he's been outstanding, taking that responsibility. At number 4, 206 runs, an average of 51, strike rate of 164. Outstanding numbers those. Tash Farran's such an important player for Zimbabwe, isn't he?
Yeah, he's hugely important, and not just what he does on the pitch, obviously. You know, what he brings to the team. He's the captain, he's played all around the world, and Zimbabwe don't have a plethora of players that have done that. So he's obviously been instrumental on the pitch.
India were selected to field.
He'll do so much off the pitch as well, just bringing the knowledge that he's learned from around the world and from different players as well. And you know, he knows that there's quite a lot on his shoulders, but he's handled that in this tournament brilliantly, hasn't he?
Yeah, and someone else who's had a brilliant tournament, Brian Bent, 22 years old. His average took a massive hit today. It's gone down to 146. Only out twice in this tournament, 292 runs, strike rate of 100.
Playing level வந்துருச்சுனா சொல்லு bro, மாத்தணும்.
Out against India as well. Outstanding performance from him, and some real green shoots of hope, Ryan, for Zimbabwe looking forward, and Sikandar Raza saying that he wants his team to be a mid-table team, to consolidate themselves in the T20 game, and they've started to do that work.
Yeah, 100%. It's really exciting for these teams to perform well on the world stage in front of people, but the most important thing is what they do from now on, because I think what happens sometimes is you have a good tournament, everything's great, but then you don't play for 3, 4, 5 months because of the schedules, and you don't have, you know, opposition, or the world cricket schedule is so busy now that, you know, the big boys don't play against these little guys so often. That's really, really important now. This has been great. We know what we need to do. Our preparation has been really, really good. We've played well. What's next? So the next 3 months, the next 4 months, the next 5 months has to be really, really important, that the organisers, the managerial side of Zimbabwean cricket steps up and goes, okay, we know that we need to keep playing well, we need to expose our youngsters to the best cricketers around the world, and that's the way we're going to get better. So, yeah, really important time for them. Look, the pressure coming off that they don't have to go through a qualifier for the next T20 World Cup is so important, and that's also money that will come into their system as well that guarantees that. But now we just have to make sure that we see them playing more cricket against good opposition. And again, I think that's where, and I know without being too political, I know it's very busy around the world, but some of these big teams need to actually start going, you know what, we need to...
Playing level வந்துருச்சு, Sanju Samson playing,
I don't know if
Rinku Singh not playing, same squad.
Drop in and play against Zimbabwe. If we're going to play England, maybe we drop in and play Scotland and Netherlands.
Playing lane change பண்ணுவோமா?
A couple of days just to give them an exposure. Who drops into the USA, for instance, now to play against them, to try and give them a little bit more? Does India take Nepal under their belt and say, you know what, you need to come and play us a few times, even if it's an A team from India playing Nepal? They're the little things I think that I'd love to see world cricket be better at, and that's where the game will continue to grow if that's the case.
Yeah, completely agree. And actually one of the most charming things about this tournament has been the jeopardy in that group stage, the stories that have come with it, the development of those smaller countries, and the fact that they've been put on the map by this tournament that's been so well supported inside the ground. I was at the Nepal versus England game, and it was like India were playing England. There was so much support in Mumbai for them, so it's a launch pad for the game to grow from.
Yeah, definitely, and just going back to Zimbabwe as well, you feel like it's a really key time for them to pounce on this, you know, that successful group stage of this World Cup. Obviously, they haven't progressed through to the semi-finals, but they don't have to qualify for the next T20 World Cup. We've just had the Under-19s World Cup in Zimbabwe, and also the 50-over World Cup next year is in South Africa, along with Zimbabwe as well. So, you know, they've had the results here, and they've also got the setting in the next couple of years.
So
there's
I
going
hope
to be a lot of you know, world cricket played in Zimbabwe. So, you know, that is really important with trying to marry the two. So you hope that Zimbabwe cricket, and just what Ryan's saying, they can get, you know, those potentially those bilateral series around the world tournaments as well. And, you know, countries like Nepal as well, how brilliant have they been? And they also have the backing in their country. They've got their own T20 league now as well. So those kinds of countries and teams, they've got to marry up the performances but also the support and the games back home in their home country as well.
Yeah, and the wider game can help support that as well, can't it? Distribution of funds, and without it all becoming too complex, certainly that financial support to be able to develop the players and create a more level playing field across the world is only going to be a good thing for cricket. Now, the story here is that South Africa, in winning this game today against the spirited Zimbabwe team, means that they top their Super 8 Group 1 of this tournament. They go through to play New Zealand in Kolkata in a few days' time, and they'll be feeling very confident actually from the way that they've played in this tournament. You kind of had them down as favourites, or I certainly did when I was asked who I think will go far in this tournament, who I think will win it. I said South Africa, the game that's coming up very shortly here on Radio 5 Live, on the ICC website, and at the India versus West Indies game.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. I actually can't wait to get home and watch that game as well. And yeah, basically a quarter-final, and India in particular wouldn't have thought they may have been in this position, but obviously at Kolkata there'll be a huge crowd, and they'll all pretty much be going for India as well. So that's a massive game. And West Indies, they've been dangerous in this tournament as well. So really looking forward to that, and it's pretty fitting actually that the Super 8 stage is finished with that game as well, and all eyes will be on that.
Yeah, and from a South African perspective, Ryan, going through the rest of this tournament, who is their most important player, you think, to make sure that they make the most of this opportunity?
My first initial thought is always Hayden Markram, because I think the leader, he opens the batting, he can bowl, he can do whatever. He looks like a calming influence around their team. If he starts well, I think that they just file in behind him. But the more I watch Brevis bat, I think, gee, that boy could take away a game anywhere at any time. And look, we know to win an ICC tournament, a World Cup, your best players got to play well, and you need probably one of your lesser knowns to stand up on the big occasion. So I'm really interested to see if South Africa can take that next step, because, you know, like we've said throughout, there's always that bit of banter about what they do in semi-finals or finals in World Cup events. But I'm just intrigued to see if this group of players can put the past behind them and go, you know what, that's not us. This is us now. We win stuff, and we're going to demand, you know, excellence from within the group, and we're going to win.
Well, let's hear from the captains. Here's Pommy and Bangma.
Reflections, I guess, is what I would ask for with regard to what's gone on. And sometimes I guess it feels all whirlwind as it happens. But can you put into words the journey that you've been on as a side?
Certainly qualifying was a big step. Getting a ticket to the next World Cup without the qualifiers, massive achievement. I think in this Super 8, as much as we have lost, Pommy, but I can assure you, the lessons we have taken on. After the first game, we got better. After the second game, we even got better. So these are the things that when I look into my team and I say, you know what, we are learning, we are growing, and as a captain, I couldn't have asked for more, and I couldn't be any more proud of the boys. So as a captain and as a leader, I'm very, very proud of this bunch of boys, because I genuinely felt that we got better with every game that went on. And hopefully when we come back to the ICC events next time, we'll be even better.
There's a World Cup coming. I know it's not going to be 2020 World Cup, but it will be a 50-over World Cup, and that's not in 28, but in 27. The importance of what you've done here with regard to that, and those fans you're talking to and those at home, with regard to looking forward to that?
Yeah, certainly very much so. It looks too far away for some of us, but we see where we are and we see how we go. But I just think, for me, the culture we have built in the changing room, whether we are there or we are not there, I think this team should be on autopilot and things should be very smooth. Hopefully, if Allah wills it, all the senior boys are fit and healthy. We would love to be part of that as well. But having said that, the culture we have built, the relations we have built with the fans home and away, I just think we're on to something here. And the hope, most importantly, that we have given to people back home. The Chevrons have done something that hasn't been done before.
Okay.
And I think the hope to the parents to allow their kids to take
started a
cricket
new play
as a
because we
primary
already reached the
sport so
limit
that our depth
for
can get better,
total
our standards can get better. Because right now, immediate thing that Zimbabwe needs to do is to improve the pool of players. But I think what we have achieved now, Zimbabwe doesn't need to do anything. I think is going to happen automatically now.
Probably not for you to decide, but also what you do as a side with regard to playing between now and then important fixtures, etc.
I can assure you one thing, that the Zimbabwe management, the MD and the chairman has been very active behind the scenes. We have got 3 home tours and 1 away tour in 2026, and with a possibility of 2 more tours and 3 of A series as well. So management has been really busy behind closed doors. Without me revealing too much, I can assure you that you'll be seeing plenty more of Zimbabwe. I just think right now we need to go back and just take a breather, regroup, plan, draw a blueprint where we need to go, how we need to do about our 2027 World Cup business. But I can assure you that the management is busy and you're going to see Zimbabwe more and more.
All the best with that hard work and well done on this trip here.
Thank you very much, Pami. Thank you.
There you go, captain of Zimbabwe, Sikandar Raza. Now time to speak to the victorious captain of South Africa, Aiden Markram. Aiden, how happy are you with what's happened there in terms of trying to ensure you continue on your way, seeing as you've been playing so well through the tournament?
Yeah, nice to get the win. Can be quite a tricky one when you change the team a bit. Some boys haven't been playing, but I thought the bowlers in the field has really stepped up today. Obviously with the bat would have loved it to be more clinical, but probably not the worst thing that the middle order was put under a little bit of pressure and came through. So some good things to take, and obviously very grateful for the win as well.
The difficulty of the fact that you qualify early, you want it and you want to tick it off and make sure you're there, but then you've also got to then sort of balance things, like you're saying, with selection and flexibility to just make sure you're taking over. What are the discussions with regard to all of that?
Yeah, it's tricky, but the least you can do is give opportunities to the guys that have been working really hard behind the scenes. You never know if you're going to need them. We could get to conditions and screams out to play one of them, and now they've got a game under their belt, which is a lot of value in. So really happy to have got the win. Happy with how the boys operate in the field and with the ball. Like I said, from a batting point of view, we'll take what we can from it, and yeah, just keep moving forward and looking forward to the next one.
Look forward for me.
Yeah, excited. Really exciting. Semi-final of Kolkata against New Zealand, I believe. So the boys will be up for it a couple of days' time. We look at playing one really good game of cricket, and hopefully the result takes care of itself, and we hopefully can find ourselves in the final. But it's still 40 overs of good cricket needed, and we need to give it that respect.
Okay. Congratulations on the qualification. You've probably been congratulated before, and all the very best over in Kolkata.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that was the captains with Pommy and Bangwa there. The headline news: South Africa have won this game against Zimbabwe by 5 wickets. They topped the group, and they're through to a semi-final in Kolkata against New Zealand in a few days' time. And that's the end of our coverage here in Delhi, with thanks to Matt Floyd, Ryan Campbell and Tash Farron for their contributions over the last few hours. We now go to Kolkata to join our team, Henry Moran, for the blockbuster game between India and the West Indies.
Thank you very much, Vinny. Top work team there, and what an occasion this will be. West Indies against India. It is a straight knockout. Winner progresses through to the semi-final, loser and their tournament is done. No worries about net run rate, none of that complication. This is a straightforward quarter-final between two sides who have at times in this tournament startled with their run scoring. At other times they have stuttered and struggled. Who will come out on top tonight? Much could depend on the outcome of the toss. Let's head to the middle. Ravi Shastri alongside the two captains.
Kolkata! Que Monacho! We are in the city of joy in the magnificent Eden Gardens, Calcutta. And it'll be the venue for a heavyweight contest. It's a knockout bout. It is two former champions who'll go head-to-head. It's India taking on the West Indies at Eden as we come up to toss time. For the Blues, ready to punch, is Surya Kumar Yadav. For the men in maroon, from the Caribbean, ready to counter-punch, is Shai Hope. Keeping an eagle eye on the proceedings is the seasoned Ranjan Madhukale. He's in the hot seat. And Rangu Hare for Hyundai is quietly watching the proceedings as he gives the coin to Ranjan Madhukale, who gives it to Surya. And Surya gives it a spin. Heads. Heads is the call. What's it, Ranjan? Surya, you won the toss. What have you decided?
We want to bowl first tonight.
Yes. I mean, you know this ground well. It's been a home ground for you in the past when you played for KKR. What do you make of this surface?
Looks good. The surface looks good. It has been a chasing ground. Wicket later on becomes even better. And also with a little bit of dew factor, I think chasing would be a better option.
Great venue for a knockout game like this. It's a quarter-final.
Absolutely. I mean, it's already very wild. The crowd is in. Hopefully we can give them a good show tonight.
And what's the mood like in the dressing room? Tension? Apprehensions? Anxious?
Of course there will be tension, there will be nerves, but if there's no pressure, there's no fun. But the mood in the camp is good. I think we ticked all the boxes in the last game, and taking that positivity coming here in this game, I think it will be a good one.
Any headache in picking 11? What's your combination?
No, we're going with the same team.
Enjoy it. Have a great game, Surya.
Yes, thank you.
Shai, what would you have done? And you
we would have done the same.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Your boys playing some fantastic cricket. You've had a really good World Cup, and as a team, just seem to be peaking at the right time.
Yeah, that's the key for us. You got to make sure you're playing consistent cricket all the way through. It's a big tournament like the World Cup, so you got to ensure you're playing best cricket when it matters most. And today it's no better time to do so.
You're one of the most explosive batting lineups. When you look at your side, the amount of franchise cricket you boys have played around the globe, so that's very handy, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure, especially here in India. Most of the guys have been in part of the IPL, and I'm sure that's going to give them some confidence, especially playing against the opposition and playing in some, I would call it, familiar conditions. So you got to use that experience in your favor, and hopefully we can come out on top today.
Now, you're a very popular team in India. You won World Cups here before, and all the boys looking forward to this. This is a great ground.
Yeah, like I said, it's a do-or-die game today, and the guys are up for it. Like I say, this is what you play for, or you come to play against big teams, best teams, and in moments like this. So it's another big game. We know what we need to do to win this one, so we're looking forward to it.
Are you tinkering with your side, or what is your side for today?
Yes, we got one change. So Akil Hussain comes back, and Brian King misses out today.
Have a good one, Shai.
Thank you.
Well, that's the news from the centre. It's India who won the toss, and they've decided to field first.
Thanks to Ravi Shastri out there in the middle with the two captains, and it does feel like a big toss to win that one with the various factors mentioned by the captain Surya Kumar Yadav about you, typically a good ground for chasing, but we will wait and see. Somebody that knows this venue and the various nuances of it far better than I do is journalist and broadcaster Anisha Ghosh, who is with us once again. Anisha, what a city, what a stadium, what an occasion. And what a toss to win for India potentially.
Absolutely. Going to have a decisive imprint on the proceedings and the outcome of the match, the toss, I can tell you, because dew is expected here at the Eden Gardens. I did speak to a few fellow journalists who were here yesterday on match day -1. They did say that there was a smattering of moisture towards the latter half of the evening, so it's a great toss to win, and really the stakes couldn't be any higher for a match like this. The last game of the Super 8s of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026 hosts India. Remember, for them, qualification into the semi-finals is the absolute minimum expectations. On the contrary, for West Indies, if they do go on to progress, it would just validate the terrific start and the resurgence they had by going unbeaten in their first 5 games before they finally and eventually dropped a match to South Africa. And here you can see the stadium is already packed. 67,000 people here in the capital city of West Bengal, out in numbers, most of them clad in blue, putting their weight behind the hosts.
What an occasion, it really is. And as the players prepare to make their way over the boundary edge ahead of the anthems, I'm very pleased to say that former England opener, BBL winner as well, Michael Carberry, part of our team this evening. Carbs, lovely to have you with us. Goodness me, what an occasion, what a game.
Yeah, great to see you, Henry. How you doing? Yeah, everyone's doing well. Yeah, we're very excited about this game. Yep, it's a quarter-final, as we know. Huge game for both sides. Winner takes all. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, what more could you ask for? And what a scene in front of us as well as the sparklers go up into the night sky. And everywhere you look, India supporters waving the flags, the blue jerseys, those replica shirts you see everywhere. Well, they're being donned by pretty much 99% of spectators as the two teams walk out, heading towards the umpires. It's an all-English umpiring team, actually. Kettleborough will be on television duty, and then Messrs Wharf and Gaffney. Actually, no, forgive me, Gaffney's from New Zealand, isn't he? So there we go, that's ruined that particular stat. But they are our men in the middle and not far away from two of the great anthems of world cricket. Rally round the West Indies. Of course, the national anthem of India. Two sides lining up in front of us. Kolkata, Eden Gardens, the venue. Happy hunting ground for West Indies 10 years ago. What will happen tonight?
No national anthem. அதுக்காக அப்படி கொசன்னு வருதா? இந்தியாவுக்கு வராது, வெஸ்ட் இண்டீஸ்க்கும் வர மாதிரி நடத்துறது. ஸ்ரீலங்கா நேஷனல் anthem மட்டும்தான் காப்பிரைட் வருது. வந்தா இது பண்ணிக்கலாம், ரிமூவ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். நானும் மேட்ச் பார்க்க போறேன். உள்ள கிரிக்கெட் கேம் சவுண்டு கேட்காம நல்லா தானே இருக்கு. கமெண்ட்ரி இருக்கனால சவுண்ட் ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டேன். ரெண்டு சவுண்டும் ரொம்ப இதாக இருக்கு. அதில்
As the sun shines, you know we can take it higher. Let every voice be raised. Everybody give praise. Rally, rally round the West Indies.
இது ஸ்க்ரீன் தெரிலனா சொல்லுங்க ப்ரோ. செம்ம மேட்ச் காத்திருக்குது. அப்படி நான் இது என்னோட மெயின் ஸ்க்ரீன்லேயே பார்க்க போகிறேன், லேப்டாப்பில் பார்க்கல. அதனால தான் சவுண்ட் ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டேன். ஐ மீன் கிரிக்கெட்டோட கேம் சவுண்ட் ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டேன். ஒன்லி கமெண்ட்ரி ப்ளஸ் கேம் விசுவல்ஸ் மட்டும் தெரியும். ஃபுல்லாக அப்படியே பார்ப்போம். இங்கிலீஷில் வச்சுருக்கேன்.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Well, what a reception for these two sides. Not that many West Indies flags that I can see, it has to be said. Probably 99.9% of spectators in this venue supporting India. Desperate to see an India side make it through to what you described as the bare minimum, the final four, Anisha.
Absolutely, because an elimination for India, the co-hosts of this tournament in the Super 8s, would be absolutely disastrous, and more so because the kind of build-up they've had to this tournament, winning the Asia Cup, of course, beating their arch rivals, Pakistan, in that continental tournament, the kind of performances they had, sure, they have struggled a little bit getting going, especially when they've lost early wickets in the power play, but they have rallied around well, they have regrouped well enough to give a good account of themselves and resuscitate this tournament. So this is their match to win. The toss has gone their way. The crowd is going to be well and truly behind them. And Eden Gardens, what a stadium this is. I can tell you, Kolkata, the whole of Bengal, whole of eastern India wants India to lay their imprint on this match, because remember, Eden Gardens has had to wait for the first India game here. This is the first and only time that Eden Gardens spectators will get to witness the men in blue here before they go on to host the semi-final on March the 4th. That comprises a contest between New Zealand and South Africa. So the only time they get Surya Kumar Yadav and his men out performing here is tonight. Can they make it count is the question.
Well, Michael Carberry, it is going to be a big first over or two as we hear Matthew Hayden ringing the bell way down below us, and there's a man that has a bit of force behind him as he does that particular job. Yeah, it's going to be huge, these opening stages.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's going to be, yeah, the West Indies openers are going to want a solid start, no doubt. It's got the threat of, no doubt, Bumrah taking the new ball, which is a formidable challenge in itself. And he's going to be bang up for it again in front of his home crowd on a ground he knows very, very well. So if Shai Hope and Brandon King can get through, or Ross and Chase even, sorry, who can get through that initial little burst, and they can build a partnership. I think that's the key for West Indies, which allows that power that we've seen throughout the tournament to really come to fruition.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Michael Carberry. We'll have plenty more from you as we go through the tournament. Shai Hope is there through the tournament, through the rest of the evening is what I mean to say. Thank you, Carbs. As we see Roston Chase, who's come up the order to open the batting alongside Shai Hope. Anisha's interesting team selection, no Brandon King.
100%. He was a little wanting in runs and form, and it's a good and fairly brave call to make, but I am not surprised that they have gotten this change done at the expense of Brandon King, bringing in, remember, Akil Hussain, potent left arm spinner, and with Gudakesh Moti, he is going to challenge the Indian top order, and I won't be surprised if both Gudakesh Moti and Akil Hussain are brought on to operate in the power play. But right now, the spotlight is going to be well and truly on Roston Chase. Can he contribute to this opening partnership, joining forces with the captain Shai Hope, who has been informed? Remember, the last time Shai Hope came out to bat at this venue, who struck a fluent 75-run knock, player of the match in that game against Italy. He would want to find his batting mojo nice and early to set the platform for the men in maroon here.
Well, they have played at this venue already against both Scotland and Italy. A rather different proposition this evening, I think it is fair to say. The intensity perhaps a little higher. There's a slip in place in the form of Abhishek. In place of Ishan Kishan, who's in the side, but he's not keeping wicket. We've got a backward square leg, a deep backward point, and we've got Arshdeep Singh running in towards us. Shai Hope on strike, defends into the offside. There's no run. We're up and running in this essentially quarter-final tie.
Yeah, it's a straightforward shootout, as you mentioned earlier, and a look at the lineup of West Indies here. Of course, the reject opening combination between Hope and Chase. There is number 3, Hetmyer, the leading run getter for West Indies in this tournament so far, scored some 221 runs. Will need to find his fluency. Remember, he's coming off a single-digit score in that last game against South Africa, but do not forget how well Shimron Hetmyer started at this ground and at this tournament.
Arshdeep Singh to bowl to Hope, who'll tuck that into the leg side, riding the bounce, gets a single to get West Indies up and running. Do you think by having an opening partnership of Hope and Chase, that was trying to be nominatively determinative in terms of winning the toss? We hope to chase.
I knew you were
you see what I
driving
mean?
the car towards that direction, and you really played that well, I should tell you. Full points. I hope all our listeners really write to you, not just via email, but on X. That was a real good one.
Thank you very much. I mean, it was fraught with danger of me messing it up, like all attempts at humour, I find. But Roston Chase, he's a wily cricketer, tall figure. He's got a similar build as Hardik Pandya, quite hunched in the shoulder, but deceptively powerful. And he's a very good technician, useful bowler. More than that, gets excellent bounce with his spin. And he goes to the top of the order, looking to try and offer West Indies a little bit of oomph at the start of this innings. So he's on strike. Arshdeep Singh is going to run in from the far end of the ground with the Nair stand behind him. Here comes Arshdeep. This is punched down the ground. Single will be taken towards mid-on. Good running. And right on the money from Arshdeep, who's a wily, canny operator. And he gives a little nod of the head to Surya Kumar Yadav, waiting at mid-wicket. And we are up and running with the score at 2 without loss. Alex Wharf standing in his 50th T20 international today. I'm sure he's done many bigger. Chris Gaffney is 56th. Two experienced umpires, good men for the occasion.
Arshdeep Singh, of course, is the second highest wicket taker for India in this tournament with 8 scalps.
Comes in now, left arm over, and that's defended again. On the money, there's thought of a single from Shai, but it's a good decision not to take it, I would say, because Hardik Pandya came scampering in from mid-on. He's such a good fielder.
Yeah.
2 without loss.
Very agile and alert as ever is Hardik Pandya. He will have a decisive role to play, not just with the ball, but with the bat. The way we saw him finish that innings in the last Super 8 game, that half century was critical. When it comes to where India eventually reached here, they did go down in that match to South Africa, but it was a terrific knock.
Arshdeep comes in, and that rather startles Hope as it comes rearing up off a length, hits high up on the bat, and he gives it a little jerky push as if to say, get off me. It's another good delivery from Arshdeep, who's keeping things solid at the moment. He fulfills more, if you like, when you look at left-handed bowlers at the top of an innings, you think of Mitchell Stark, who always, or even Marco Jansen, looking to really get that exaggerated in-swing towards the right-hander. He's much more like Sam Curran in the sense that he's looking to contain more than necessarily pitch it up at the toes. He can do that. Runs in now. That's nicely pushed away, out towards backward point for 1. But it's only 1, and the over comes to an end with 3 from it. The crowd, who are always described as a very knowledgeable crowd.
Absolutely,
here.
on par with the Chennai crowd, I would say, because they come with their stats, they come with their passion, they come with the Jhalmuri, which we of course spoke about at length in the last match, and we have plenty of presence of Jhalmuri thanks to the Cricket Association of Bengal and the ICC media teams here at the press box and the commentary box once again. Delightful, spicy, once again.
It's very nice. We've got the little pop rice snacks is what they are, and they're marvellous fun. So 3 without loss. We're actually going to see Hardik Pandya bowl in the second over as opposed to Jasprit Bumrah, which is an interesting development. He seems every tournament that goes by to develop new accessories. He's got the clear framed glasses that you might see on a poker table that he wears when he's not bowling, the sweatbands on either sleeve, and now he's also got the addition of a sort of glove type affair on his left hand, which is a little bit like something you might wear if you're in the UFC ring. He's running in now, right arm over, and it'll be 1, will it? No. Yes, no, maybe, but the ball goes straight to Arshdeep Singh from the bat of Hope. 3 without loss.
He's a fashion-forward man, let's put it that way. Of course, he keeps changing his hair color and his hairdo at large for every big event that comes along the way. And he's had a good tournament, but I think his best as an all-rounder, that one decisive game across all disciplines, across all departments, is yet to come about. Who knows? Today could be the day. But interesting choice nonetheless from India to not give Jasprit Bumrah one of the opening bowler's duties here alongside Arshdeep.
This is again a dot ball as it's played rather cautiously by Hope into the offside. And West Indies, having faced 8 balls, have only got 3 on the board, so a slow start Plenty of time to catch up, but India absolutely on the money so far. They look very focused. They got off the team bus, and you knew the superstars were in town when there was a huge contingent of police officers all craning their necks and getting their cameras out to try and film the team getting off the bus. And you realised that the people getting off that bus must surely and could only be the India team. Fielders in the deep remain those two just behind square on the offside and the leg side. Slip and short third in place. Big swing at that bottom edge. Well taken by Sanju Samson, plunging low to his left. Ooh, the crowds are encouraged to repeat as the ball goes not too far away from the stumps. 3 without loss it remains. We've already seen 6 dot balls.
And the reason why the support is so huge for the Indian team is also because there are so many Kolkata Knight Riders players in this entire playing personnel and also the non-playing group. Gautam Gambhir, the head coach of India, is a former title-winning coach with the Kolkata Knight Riders. Rantan Deshkate used to be one of the poster boys for KKR right after the tournament got underway in the late 2000s, and now you have the likes of Rinku Singh, Varun Chakrabarti, all got it chilling, local boys as they call it.
Hardik Pandya, oh, that's been flogged into the leg side. It's going to be 6. And that's hit nicely. He didn't get absolutely all of it, did Hope, but he got enough. And it's walloped over mid-wicket and slaps into those thankfully redundant white tarpaulins beyond the boundary edge.
Beautifully picked up there. It sat up nicely for Shai Hope to sort of send it into the stands over deep mid-wicket. 77 meters that measured. All Hardik Pandya and Surya Kumar Yadav could do is just stand back and admire.
9 without loss. 2 balls left of this second over. As we see Arshdeep Singh pushed out towards long on, and that fielder at deep backward point has been brought up inside the circle. So any width that's offered will provide opportunity for Shai Hope to find runs through the offside. And that's what he's trying to access. Little step towards the square leg umpire and a huge almighty heave at it. And it goes through to the gloves of Sanju Samson. A little quizzical look there from Surya Kumar. I thought I heard a little something in my headphones.
It was a full-fledged appeal, albeit belated, from the India captain, because he did raise both his hands up and made that polite inquiry towards the bowlers and umpire. Was there something? You can see the ball sort of loses a bit of momentum the moment it passes the bat. So who knows? Hardik wasn't interested. There wasn't anything by way of an appeal from the glovesman Sanju Samson himself, though.
Pretty noisy out there, to be fair. Be quite hard to hear a little nick on it. Hardik Pandya bowls. Oh, lovely shot, threading the needle through the offside. That's a really good shot through the covers for 4 runs. So the over with 10 from it. Just the 2 scoring shots. Sees West Indies at 13 without loss after 2. If you want to get in touch, by the way, Test Match Special with you for every ball of every game of this World Cup. We're already on to match 52. Just 3 to come after this. 2 semi-finals and the final being played a week today in Ahmedabad. But if you want to get in touch, tms at bbc.co.uk, and we would love for you to do so.
It was a great, delectable looking offside 4 from Shai Hope to close out the second over, pierce the gap between Surya Kumar Yadav and Varun Chakrabarti. Lots of with an offer, but once again the placement absolutely on the money. And look, once again the cover and the point fielder wasn't too far away from each other.
Roston Chase mistimes a drive towards the bowler, and so no run there. Hubert on the email, by the way, says a knowledgeable crowd, a crowd that would applaud the opposition, and we're not going to hear that today. I would disagree. I would say even if the crowd don't applaud the opposition, you need to be knowledgeable to know that too.
100%. And tell you what, Darren Sammy, the West Indies head coach, acknowledged at the pre-match press conference that every time he comes to the Eden Gardens, he's received really well. They wish him all the best, but he asked him this time around, do you really mean it ahead of an India game?
Driven into the offside and on the bounce. Oh, it's going to be a run out. Surely, no, it went to the wrong end. Roston Chase and Shai Hope were there discussing dinner plans, and as the throw came in from Varun Chakrabarti, it went to the end where they were both located. And Roston Chase has got time to get home. What was that communication about?
Huge stroke of luck for Roston Chase. Varun Chakrabarti The pickup was good, the throw was good, but not at the right end. It should have come at the wicket keeper's end, as a result of which Roston Chase survives.
Roston Chase, who's opening for the very first time in international cricket today, which is quite an occasion to do it. 13 without loss, 2.2 overs gone. Arshdeep Singh's been immaculate so far, and appealed for LBW, but it's come off the inside half of the bat before striking the pads, and they'll trot through for 1. 14 without loss. Arshdeep has bowled 9 balls, none for 4.
Yeah, this has been a good start from the left arm pacer, and Varun Chakravarti, of course, he's one of the KKR players we were talking about. Chakravarti has 100 IPL wickets, 99 of those for the Kolkata Knight Riders, and plenty of them have come here at the Eden Gardens. So for him to miss out that first opportunity to make the inroads, gee.
He'll be frustrated. A haze around the ground. Every seat that I can see taken. And Arshdeep will try once again. Left arm over. And Hope up on his toes. Nicely angled out towards Ishan Kishan, fielding out there on the boundary at deep point. Nicely timed by Chase, but the fielder perfectly positioned to stop it. This marvellous ground. Sensational city as well. I absolutely love Kolkata. I've really fallen in love with it over the last few days. It's just a wonderful place to explore, and the buildings, the history, the little sort of bohemian artistic quarters you stumble across out of nowhere. With I found a cafe earlier that had a pottery class going on at the same time. Here comes Arshdeep Singh, final ball of a third over, and he runs in past the umpire now, as it's lovely timing from Chase, back over the bowler's head for a 1-bounce 4. Straight as you like. That really is nicely played. Just seeing himself in and then trusting this surface to play a very elegant looking lofted drive. Held the pose for good measure too. 19 without loss.
Hardly any nerves on that occasion, playing his first innings in international cricket as an opener there. Roston Chase smacked it over the bowler's head, but did it so with a lot of elegance and grace, like a ballerina. Where did that come from, you wonder? 9-4 for Roston Chase in the tournament, that was.
He's driving this time, and that'll be a 10th 4 as well. Through the offside it goes, out through extra cover, and there's another boundary. So slightly over pitch, 10th from the over, and West Indies are 23 without loss. 3 overs gone. Now let me tell you, in around about 10 minutes from now, you can have a choice of listening, because on 5 Sports Extra 1, where we are at the moment, we're going to be heading to the football, which is going to see a big game in the Premier League. London Derby, Fulham against Spurs. But on Sports Extra 3, we will be here throughout, and of course on the ICC app, ABC Listen app, and on BBC Sounds too. So we're not going anywhere, we're just leaving somewhere, if you see what I mean. So Sports Extra 1 will be heading to the football in about 10 minutes. Sports Extra 3 will be your continuous commentary for the cricket from here in Calcutta. So Akshar Patel's going to get an opportunity. 3 overs gone, 23 without loss the score. We've got fielders in the deep at long off and deep mid-wicket. And we're going to see the left arm spin of Akshar Patel. Shirt untucked as the ball is threaded through the offside behind square, and a rather laborious attempt at stopping it, I'm afraid, from Arshdeep, who probably didn't expect the ball to be going towards him, having just given his all bowling. And he rather tumbled in stages. It was like the inevitability of when you pull the wrong brick in Jenga, that. And away he went. But 27 without loss now, West Indies.
Once again, the placement from Shai Hope, beautiful. Threaded the needle, as they say, between a backward point and the third fielder, both inside the circle. And the runs are flowing thick and fast for West Indies. 2 10-run overs, the second and the third. And this 4th over has already seen the first boundary being scored. So clearly some momentum being established here by Shai Hope and his batting partner, his new opening partner, Roston Chase. There is a bit of a hold-up here in the proceedings here. Chase getting some running repairs done to his right limb, I believe.
Yeah, his right leg, he's just going through some stretching motions. But of course, when you need to have your lower right leg looked at when batting, there's quite a lot of padding that has to come off first. So a little bit of a delay. It gives me a chance to say hello to Dan in Abbeville, Louisiana. Now, Anisha, one thing you will discover with the delights of Test Match Special, if you name a country, there will be someone somewhere tuning in. We have filled out a global map once one summer. We found listeners from here, there, and everywhere. Antarctic stations, delivery rooms, you name it, up the Himalayas, whatever you like. Test Match Special reaches far and wide. So lovely to have you with us, Dan. Walking the dogs on a morning walk in Louisiana. Rather different scene, I imagine, to Eden Gardens at the moment.
Absolutely, plenty of fans live in Louisiana, I can tell you. A couple of my neighbors do, so please say hi to them, Dan, if you know them. Yes.
What's the link there?
Yeah, lots of immigrants stationed in Louisiana, and you were talking about the globalness of TMS. Let me give you a little tidbit there. I read on X yesterday from a fairly reliable source that this is the first ever T20 World Cup where the semi-finalists, no matter who the 4 semi-finalists are going to be from 4 different continents.
Ooh, nice. Here comes Akshay Patel. Bowling to Chase. Oh, very nearly gets through. So nearly bowls in. He went to wind up to try and clobber it down the ground and over the head mid-on. But got right angle, and only good fortune has saved him because inside edge onto the pad could have gone anywhere. Akshay around the wicket with his left arm spin, drops it a little short angle towards short third. There'll be no room there. Extra pace from Akshay Patel. The third delivery of the over, just rather startling. Hope. Previous ball had been 94 kilometres an hour. That one was 103. So a real leap up. As Akshay will come in once again and pace it off it this time. Swept. Looking to try and clear Arshdeep at square leg. And another dot ball, and this crowd enjoy that.
The crowd had applauded good bowling efforts so far. Fielding specimens, as also some of the glorious strokes we've seen from Chase and Hope so far.
Patel with a rather loopy round arm action, but a push into the offside, though well timed from Hope, finds the hands of Shivam Dubé and the crowd up and enjoying that.
Clearly this has been an attack from India to keep Varun Chakravarti away so far.
Dropped in a bit short, there will be a run, but only the 1 run, and 5 from the over represents a very good return for this India side. 4 overs gone. Akshay Patel into the attack and already offering some good economy. Far end of the ground, there's Jasprit Bumrah. We wondered when we'd see him. And in that loose-limbed way, swinging his arms and preparing to send the ball with that incredible elasticity hurtling towards this end. And it is a thrilling sight for fans to get the world over. If you're an India fan.
Pace bowling superhero of India, Jasprit Bumrah, takes the ball in hand for the first time here in Kolkata at this tournament. 32 years old, has 7 wickets to his tally, 3rd highest wicket taker for India in this competition so far.
Here comes Bumrah. First ball is punched very neatly towards short cover, but straight to the hands of the fielder Surya Kumar Yadav. No run again.
We were talking about Varun Chakravarti earlier, who has historically so far in this tournament bowled at least 1 over in the power play. But remember, Varun has not had a good past couple of games, conceding close to 82 runs at the expense of 2 wickets. So the question is, does Gautam Gambhir and Surya Kumar Yadav inject Chakravarti at all in the power play with 1 more over to go?
Bumrah once again. This is in the air, dropping short of point. Not far away from Abhishek Sharma.
It's instantly.
Yeah, stuck.
Jasprit Bumrah, maybe a bit of circumspection up top might do them well, knowing they have gotten off to a steady start, scoring at 6.46 so far with the 5th over underway.
Here comes Bumrah once more, driven into the offside, and again Abhishek Sharma stops it, and they will scramble through for 1. Conceivably have been 2 or 3 boundaries in the over. The Indian fielding's been good.
It was a good effort with stop from Abhishek Sharma, but Bumrah wasn't too pleased perhaps because it did ricochet off the leg of Sharma allowing for the lot of stealing that single between Chase and Ho to be materialized, and the shy of the throw, shy the stumps from Surya Kumar Yadav was quite wavered, keeping the run-out opportunity at bay.
Bumrah once again, midway through this 5th over. And this has been wrapped over the keeper's head, back towards us. It's going to be 6, you know, or nearly. A foot or so inside the boundary rope. Lovely shot, great innovation from Roston Chase. And it's 33 without loss.
Chase with that look, ridiculously easy, left it almost straight into the West Indian dugout. The players and Darren Sammy had stood up to catch the ball, one bounce right in front of the ropes and off it went into the fence. Terrific stroke, excellent result. Boundary against Jasprit Bumrah in that fashion. Well, he's setting the marker down. He's making a statement here, is Roston Chase, the new West Indian opener here, isn't he?
Well, that was great innovation, I have to say.
Really brave, really brave. As a result of which you can see there is a likelihood that Bumrah could go well outside the off stump here. It's a heavily packed offside cordon. Hardik Pandya, however, is now being moved from mid-off to mid-on as the rest of the arc sort of moves one position towards the bowler. 5 fielders on the offside, including Arshdeep at short third.
Well, here comes Bumrah once again. 2 balls left to the over, giving himself some room, hitting the ball a mile up in the air. It's going to be taken, surely. Chase, oh, dropped. Goodness me. That is a shocker. Cover, Abhishek has put it down, and I don't know how.
It hung in the air for eternity, for ages. Abhishek Sharma barely had to move there. All he had to do